Right, welcome everybody to what I'm calling the Sweetcorn postmortem. For those who haven't seen the channel before, well, this part of it anyway, I've been growing sweetcorn in the polytunnel and outside and documenting the fall growing season, as you like. And this is the final conclusion, if you like, of how they went, good, bad, of the two different methods of doing it. And right, let's get on with it. I've done some notes because otherwise I'll end up talking about squirrels or something, because I did see a funny squirrel this morning. He comes across the road and the car come in and went back again. Anyway, no, on this. Right, let's get on with it. I've got to put my glasses on because I can't read else. The variety I grew was Goldcrest F1. Sown on the 6th of May, and from sowing to harvest in the tunnel was 17 weeks or 4¼ months roughly, and outside 19 weeks or 4¾ months. So only 2 weeks difference in harvest time. Germination, really easy. They come up really well. Yeah, easy to grow. I planted out 3 rows of 4, so a block of 12, same inside and in the tunnel and outside. So 12 plants of each. Looking after them, there again, really easy. I had a bit of slug damage when they got put outside on the outside ones, and I did put some wind protection netting around them. I used the debris netting they use on scaffolding, but yeah, any wind protection netting would work. And they were grown in raised beds, and I had posts in each corner of the block I was growing it, and I just stapled it to the 4 corners, and I stapled it to the side of the bed, if you like, just trying to keep things out as much as possible. Any, I don't know, mice, rats, in my case rabbits. So I did that. In the polytunnel, didn't have to do anything. You know, nothing really comes in here and bothers them. Right, watering outside. I'm sure, like the rest of you, the summer was pretty wet, wasn't it? So I hardly watered the outside ones at all, and the ones in the tunnel, I just deep watered every 4 days, and on the 3rd watering, so every 12 days, I just gave them a top dressing of, I used the Vitax Q4, the pellets, and I give them 35 grams as a top dressing, just spread around and then watered in. So that was that. Yeah, the outside ones, the biggest problem that I had, and what I've seen of other people, is wind damage. So if you can get them in a sheltered spot, or I don't know, like behind a row of peas or runner beans or something like that, because wind was by far the biggest issue I had. If you grow, I don't know if it was just my variety, but if you're growing them and the main stalk comes up and you start getting side stalks come up from the bottom, pull them off. They just snap off really easily. That was advice given to me after I let them grow, and they did put flowers and cobs on, but they were absolutely useless. So you just want one stem, snap the rest off. Pests and diseases. In the tunnel, I did have leaf aphid, corn leaf aphid, but that was just before harvest, and it never got into the cobs at all. So it wasn't an issue, but I had it late. And to be honest, a bit of soapy water would have sorted them out. So that's no problem. Outside, slugs, as a small, when they were small plants, I had one serious damage on one, but the rest of them, no real trouble at all. I did, like I said, I've got a full playlist for this, so you can go back and have a look if you really want to. I let them go to a decent size before I put them out, give them their best fighting chance. And out of the 12 that were outside, only one didn't grow to maturity and fruit nicely. Yeah, the outside ones did develop, did get some caterpillar problems on the cobs pretty much when the tassels were dying back. So I put these fruit protection bags over them, and they worked really well. And I'm also going to be using these for seed saving, which is going to be another video coming up soon of me having to go at saving some seeds. So plant protection bags, dirt cheap, off Amazon. I think 60 of them were about £7. They work really well. No other problems outside whatsoever. Oh, and I didn't have to do this in the tunnel. No trouble at all. All right, turn over my notes. Mustn't get sidetracked. Pollination. Everybody goes on about, oh, you've got to shake these and do that. I don't think it's an issue. It is so fine. The pollen is so fine. It just, the slightest breeze, the slightest anything, you look at it, it'll come down. So pollination was really good on the majority of the plants. In fact, I would say in the tunnel, pollination was better than outside. There again, because of the wind. If you can imagine really light pollen just trying to come down, yeah, the wind just takes it. That's why you, especially outside, grow it in a block, so the wind will blow it from one to the other. That's why you see farmers' fields with it just masses of sweet corn. Oh, and don't go and nick the farmers' sweet corn that you see in the fields. It's not sweet corn, it's maize, and they grow that for starch for their animals, and it tastes disgusting. All right, so don't go nicking sweet corn. Yield. Well, polytunnel, 22 good cobs, 3 poor ones, total of 25 cobs off the 12 plants. Outside, we had 19 good cobs and 3 poor, and that's what I call a poor cob. Not pollinated very well, and you know, the corn just looks poor. And these are good cobs, and these are, I've just harvested the outside ones. These are the outside cobs, and they're a good 6.5-inch cobs. So not a lot in it. So conclusion, I found, for me, great plant for the first timer. It germinates really well, grows really well. It's an interesting plant to see. You see it growing and shoots up. Fantastic. Easy to look after, really easily. Not much difference between the tunnel and the outside ones. I only grew them in the tunnel because this is the first year in the tunnel, and I hadn't prepared much else to go in here, and I had the room. That's the only reason I put them in, and I don't think I'd bother again. The benefits don't really pay off. You might as well grow them outside if you've got the room. And I want to grow more hot loving plants in the polytunnel next year, hopefully. growing outside, the biggest problem by far, wind. They get battered by wind. So anything you can do to help with the wind is a bonus. And also some sort of mesh or netting around the area or the block that you've grown them in. I think that will really help. Just keep all the little critters and anything out from in there. I know a few people have had trouble with rats, and I don't know what you can do about that. Rats are they'll get anywhere if you've got rats. I mean, I'm lucky I haven't got rats at the moment anyway. Up here, well, that's it. It's just a brilliant thing to grow as a first-time gardener like me. I really enjoy growing them, and next year I'll be trying to grow or getting some super sweet. These were sweet, but apparently you can get super sweet that are even tastier than these. I mean, I did do a video when I harvested the polytunnel ones of cooking it and eating it straight off the plant, and they are really tasty. And yeah, stay still. That's it. Sweet corn, brilliant. Give it a go. Can't recommend it enough, but protect it from the wind. Right, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found something interesting. If you do, give us a like. Go on. And yeah, see you on the next one. Cheers and go on.